Yes.
So look, we have members of the
Tell us
Congressional
what's going
Black
on.
Caucus that are meeting right now, and this obviously is coming at a critical time. They're huddling in this room just behind me here, and this is coming at a critical time, of course, because you have the president on the world stage. You have members of Congress here on Capitol Hill that are really looking to President Biden to prove that he has the stamina, the endurance to continue in this race. Members of the CBC are standing behind President Biden. They want to see President Biden on the ticket in November, but of course this comes as we are seeing as a handful, several House Democratic members come out against President Biden, call on him to step aside. Now, I did have a chance to speak with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just a little earlier. She did kind of clarify for me that she believes that President Biden can win in November. She also went on to say that she wasn't going to be taking any other statements in the hallway, growing a little bit frustrated me when I was asking whether or not she believes that the president should be running for re-election. But this is a critical time. The next couple days are going to be absolutely critical, and many members here on Capitol Hill looking to see how the president does in that press conference tomorrow, Kira.
I'll tell you what, Rachel, just as you mentioned, your conversation with Pelosi, we've got it pulled up. Let's roll it and talk about it.
Convey to President Biden what you said this morning.
I'm not having any conversation with you or anybody else about what I talked to the president about. With all due respect.
Do you believe that him waiting so long to make this decision could harm the party?
I'm not making any comments in the hallway about the fate of our nation. Okay?
Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November?
I think he can.
Do you believe he should run for re-election?
I'm not speaking English to you. I'm not going to be making any statements about any of that right now in the hallway.
Rachel, I absolutely love it. Of course you're speaking English, and of course you're asking the questions that everybody wants to know right now. Come on, Nancy Pelosi, she represents the Democrats still in so many different ways, even though her role has changed a bit. And I'm curious, why wasn't she giving you anything? Because she did come forward earlier and didn't really give Biden a ringing endorsement. She's definitely been cagey, but did not tell you anything. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Kira, and what she said this morning on national television was extremely notable because former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is a very serious voice in this party. She is someone that speaks to the president, of course, regularly. She has talked to him since that debate performance. You have members here on Capitol Hill that are looking to leaders like Pelosi, like Jim Clyburn, like Hakeem Jeffries, as well as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer for guidance, for a gut check of where sort of things stand. And so for her to come on television this morning and not give this sort of ringing endorsement behind President Biden, especially when you have the president insisting that he's going to stay in the race, many members also saw that as extremely telling during this. Kira, if you just stay with me, I think I see.
Let's do it.
The leader, Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. Let's listen in here.
Is Biden's decision final?
That's a question that you have to ask President Biden. His decision has been well articulated in a variety of different ways throughout the last 2 weeks.
Are you going to be closely watching?
Are you getting closer to a resolution?
We're going to continue to have candid, comprehensive, and clear-eyed conversations with members of the House Democratic Caucus. That's been the approach that we've taken from the very beginning of this Congress. It's worked, and it will continue.
When you heard from the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, what did you make of her comments earlier today? Is there an open door here for the president to step aside at all?
I have not talked to Speaker Emerita Pelosi yet about her comments.
Can House Democrats recapture the majority with Joe Biden at the top of the ticket?
Yes.
And are you confident Biden can win in November?
Yes.
Is Joe Biden the best person to carry the Democrats message? So stay with me here, Kira. Thanks so much for rolling with us. We're just going to step out of this scrum here. That was, of course, the Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries. He did make it clear there that he does believe that President Biden can win in November. And, of course, so many reporters, as you saw, have questions for the Democratic leader because now we're seeing just another House member, Pat Ryan, come out and say that it's time for President Biden to step aside. And, of course, this follows what's also playing out in the other chamber over there in the Senate, where you had Senator Michael Bennet come out just yesterday after privately saying to members of the Senate and his own colleagues that he believes that it's time for President Biden to step aside. Well, just hours ago, he was very blunt. He delivered a very blunt and stark warning. He said that if President Biden remains on the ticket, he believes that Donald Trump is going to win by a landslide and that he's going to take the House and the Senate with him. Almost nobody wants to hear hear that here on Capitol Hill. House Democrats think that they have a pretty good chance of actually winning the majority here in the House this November, and Senate Democrats want to hang on to the majority in the Senate as well. That is a very stark warning, and of course we know sources tell us that he wasn't the only one that was conveying similar concerns. We also heard that Senator Sherrod Brown and Senator John Tester, two vulnerable Senate Democrats, were also conveying similar concerns about President Biden's path forward, Kira.